What up? What up? Trey Hustles. Another video. It's Friday, so I figured we could talk about some money. Finance Friday. That's what I might call it. But yeah, man. Learned in what I've been learning lately is about this business shit, man. Is if you don't know your numbers, man, you lost. Went through my numbers yesterday for the restaurants, and it's looking pretty good, looking pretty strong, man. We're June we ran about 18% year over year, up 18% year over year over there at the Mactory. This place right here that I'm at, House of Area, is brand new. This is like the third week of us operating this one. So if you're not familiar with what I do, I have a restaurant group and a couple of e-commerce businesses, and right now I'm kind of focused on the restaurant side of things, because it's more popping right now for me. So this is what I'm kind of focused on right now. We were running 18% year over year for June. Numbers really good. My kids work in the company as managers, kind of in training, I would say. They've never, they're young. They're both young, and they never worked in the kitchen before. Never worked in a restaurant business before, and I've trained them to where they are running the day-to-day at my main restaurant called the Mactory. They both have been cross-trained on all of the general manager duty, assistant manager duties, and crew leader duties, and they're kind of sharing the general manager title right now. So we kind of have like with them a co-general manager situation going on. When I open up the second location for that concept, I'll probably send one of them to run the other one. We'll figure that out later. But anyway, back to the finance side of things. So what I've been learning as far as with restaurants, you need to have, if you look at the whole pie, right? The whole pie of your restaurant's revenue, you're going to want to have as close to or below, but no higher than 60% prime cost, which is your labor and your food costs together. That's going to leave 40% for your rent and your other fixed costs. The fixed costs aren't really something that change too often, so we really don't focus on those because they're kind of recurring and they kind of come every month. Every month, pretty much the internet bill's the same. Every month, the utilities are around the same once you've been operating at full clip. Just the software and different things we use, that stuff pretty much stays the same. So, we don't really pay attention to it. I'll add it up like every quarter and make sure no one's, up their prices on me and gouging me like too crazy. Like right now, I switched from a smaller company that was providing linens and towels, and they weren't doing a good job, so I got I got another company, a bigger company, to bring that shit in, and my bill went from $65 a week to fucking $210. So I let them know the other day that I wasn't gonna pay that high. You know what I'm saying? When I signed up with you guys, you quoted me $68 a week for what I needed. Now you charging your guys bringing the stuff every week, and you're charging me fucking $210 a week for linens and towels and toilet paper and shit like that. I got 7 fucking cases of toilet paper when I only need 1 case of toilet paper. You know, for a week we might go through a case of toilet paper, but I don't even think we go through a whole case in a week. You know, but I get it. It's their job to, you know, probably run your fucking bill up or whatever as high as they can. You know what I mean? But it's all good. But yeah, I would say back to what I was talking about number wise. Yeah, 60% for your primes, and then I like to keep my other shit like rent and fixed costs. I like to leave that, try to get that shit as low as possible. 15% is ideal for me, because then I'm gonna be looking at a 25% profit. I like that. 25% profit is really good profit margin. A lot of restaurants aren't able to achieve that level of profit and shit. But I mean, who wants to work really, 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 really hard and make 7% margins? Like that shit. Like 7% margins, man, it's not really worth owning the business to me at 7%. You know, maybe if it's like a huge ass business that has like hundreds of $1 million in revenue, maybe that shit'll be sexy to have 7% margins and shit. But nah, man, 7% margins suck. So, you know, I'm looking for like 15% higher every month. So, you know, you do the math. Let's say easy math. Let's say what? Let's do something that's like realistic for the average business. Let's say 50,000, right? So 50,000, what? 15% would be what? Like 7,500. Yeah, 7,500. So yeah, 7,500 profit. You know, and then if you got a role that you play in the business, if the business is bringing in 50, then you're gonna be looking at, you know, if let's say you pay yourself $2,500 a month, right? Let's just say your salary is like $2,500, and then you're getting that $7,500 for your distributions. That got you at $10K a month, and you should only really be working at that level. I would say maybe you were working part-time in the business. Maybe you're working part-time in the business, and then maybe another part-time, you know, on the business, like, you know, helping do the marketing, bringing customers, shit like that, running online, doing things like that. If you are working in the business more than, I would say, 30 hours a week, I would say then you're probably going to end up having to wanting to pay yourself a little bit more than like $2,500. But I mean, like 15% profit, man. Like at 50K revenue, you're making 10 grand a month. That's pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you, if you work at a job and you getting 50K, you bringing in way more. No, my bad. If you're making 10K, which is like what, 120, which a lot of people, you know, on this fake ass internet try to act like 100, and what, 10K a month, 120K a year is not no money. But you know, I know a lot of people that don't make 120. You know what I'm saying? Even combined, a lot of people ain't making 120. Don't let them lie to you. You know what I'm saying? You can look at stats, but I'm going off of like real world, just looking at what people got going on, man. Most people ain't even affording rent and shit right now, man. People's money is tight. So, you know, when you see shit slowing down, it lets you know, like, a lot of people, man, I mean, 10 grand a month, like, shit, 10 grand a month's a pretty decent amount of paper to make even if you got a wife and you got kids, you can survive pretty good off of that. You can live pretty decent. If you making 10 a month, let's see, 10 a month, take them taxes off. Let's take them taxes off. Let's say estimate that shit around, if you make 10 gross, let's say you keep in 7K a month. Let's say your rent 2,500, and you still good. You can't budget the rest of that, then you short. You know what I mean? You be all right. But anyway, that's a pretty good level. If your business brings in 50 and you take it home 10 a month, that's really good. So, it can be done, but most people, what they do is they starve the business because they want to make all the money. So the business makes like 10, and no, let's say the business brings in 20 grand a month, and people are taking all the money other than what the bills cost and the product, and then reading up the product. But instead, what I would suggest do is to leave some of that money in the business, and maybe, if the business is making 20, then the most I would say you probably should be making is about 5 grand a month. That's what you working it full time, working the business full time. But so where I'm at right now is I'm doing about 80K a month at one location. This location, this first month, I think it's only going to probably bring in about 15,000. My goals for this location over here is for it to start putting out about 30K a month, which at this rent level, 30K a month, that's like the rent in like a day and a half of sales. That's usually about my metric. Like, when I look at a space, I say, okay, let me see, do I think in this area I could make that rent in a day? On a good day, can I make the rent? Like, because over at my main place, we pretty much, on our busy days, we make the rent in one day, okay? Like in revenue. So that's how I look at it. If I could make my rent in 1, maybe 2 days at max, 2 days on 2 good days, if I could make the rent, I'll fuck with the spot. But I'm telling you, man, know your numbers though, man. Sit down. I've really been really busy, and I've been kind of acting like I was too busy to do my numbers and go over my numbers and shit. And I knew that my numbers were good. I could tell just by the money being in the bank. And, with me also opening up 2 concepts in 2 months, funded basically from the profits that normally I would just take to live off of, from the one restaurant, and me shuffling that money back in to these 2 new concepts. I knew that I was doing all right, and I could tell from the bank balance and stuff, but actually sitting down, it only took me about 10 minutes to kind of go through the numbers, man. Just find the 10 minutes and go through the numbers, and make sure that your shit is performing where you need it. So then if you need to make some adjustments and shit, you can get the adjustments going. Because if you need to adjust anything, you're not going to feel it the first day. You're not going to feel it until, a week or 2 when you start making those adjustments, So, stick your nose in those books, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got somebody doing my books, but you want to be in there, at least weekly, going over, how much did I actually spend on food? Because, I get 2 trucks a week over there at that location. And sometimes, they end up going to the store and buying stuff here and there, little stuff, and that shit all adds up. So, that could change you from being at 20% to being at 27% food costs. So, You want to know if you're at 20. You want to know if you're at 30. You want to know if you're at 40% food costs, because some of these guys that I, get hit up to help with their business and shit, they, they don't know, but they're fucking 50% food cost. And they're wondering why they can't afford to hire 2 people so they could get 2 days off. So yeah, stay in them numbers, man. I don't care if you got to stay up late or give up, watching TV, or give up watching some TikToks for 10 minutes, man. Do your fucking numbers. Make sure your math is mathing. Make sure that shit is making sense. All right. It's your boy Trey Hustles, man. I'm out.